Hi, today I'm on the outskirts of a village called Crimond, and the plan is to do a stealth wild camp in an ancient stone circle. I've walked most of the way, the van is parked up. Yes, I've put a sign in the window telling people what I'm up to. Hopefully my van won't cause me any problems today. So I'm just ready to walk across a field and do the final leg to the circle. So I'll swing the camera around and we'll walk in. This is Berry Brae stone circle. It was built about 4,000 years ago by the people who lived and farmed in the land surrounding it. Now, when they built it, they raised a clay platform up and built their stone circle on top of that platform. And they built it as a recumbent stone circle. Now, they're pretty unique to the northeast of Scotland, and they differ from normal stone circles in that they have a horizontally laid stone, very much like an altar at the head of the stone circle. Now, this stone circle also had a ring cairn in the centre. There's nothing that remains of that ring cairn, but it would have looked very similar to the stone circle at Daviot. I'll put some pictures of that up now so you can see what I'm talking about. And that stone circle stayed like that for 1,000 years. It was a place of burial and a place that had a religious significance to those people. Moving on 1,000 years, and a different group of people had moved to this area. There were a group of people that were referred to by archaeologists as the Beaker people, based on their burial practices. Now, the Beaker people, they saw the significance of this site, but they wanted to change it to suit their needs. And what they did was they knocked down the stones at the rear of the circle. They removed the ring cairn and they used the stones that had been taken out and the stones from the ring cairn to make a wall that was mounded up around. And in the centre of this, they used this for ceremonial cremation, burials. And there's been excavations done in the 70s that have shown numerous graves and grave goods in the centre of this circle. So this has been used since 4,000 years ago as a burial site, but thankfully, since it was changed by the Beaker people, it has been untouched since, which is pretty unusual for this area because many stone circles have been taken down because they get in the way of modern life. Now, in 1961, the site was designated as a national monument, and thankfully now it is illegal to do any damage to this site, and it's been protected ever since. For me, it's a pretty special place. It's the nearest stone circle to where I live, and it's a really nice place. I nearly said magical, and I know I'm not into mystical stuff, but there's certainly something about this place that's pretty special. And in the summer, when the leaves are on the trees and it's slightly kind of grown over, it feels kind of hidden, and you're kind of in this stone circle. Obviously, we're in the dead of winter now. The trees have lost all their leaves and it's very open. Tonight, I'm going to try and hide in this very open area. I'm not going to camp in the middle of the circle because I think that would be, well, sacrilegious, because this is a grave site and there's definitely people buried underneath here. So I am going to camp just outside the surrounding wall by the trees over there, and I'm going to camo up my tent with some nets, and hopefully I won't get spotted. There's a house over that way, and because there are no leaves on any of the trees, I'm pretty much in plain sight from there. So I am going to put on my tent, camo it out, and hopefully I'll be left alone. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put the tent up now. Well, that's me set up. There's a road just over there, and it must be a cut through of some sort because it's really busy. I'm mighty surprised because it's a tiny little B road, and yet there's a lot of traffic, and there's been a farmer come up and down here. Now, I don't think there's any problem with me camping in here, but, and it's always that but I don't really want to attract too much attention, so I have set my tent up now. And I put a couple of small camo nets. I've only bought some small ones with me to cover me from the house over there, which is kind of that way, and from the gate to the field, which is over there, which is about the only place really where if a car pulls up and stops, they can kind of spy where the tent is. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave my camera gear here in the circle, and I'm going to have a walk over to the gate, and we'll have a look what the tent looks like and see if I need to adjust my netting or anything. So I'll tell you what I'll do is I will walk over to there and I'll switch the camera back on when I get there. Well, this is me over at the gate now, and I'm just going to stand by the gate and I'll show you without trying to draw too much attention to it. Over there, it's not perfect, it's a bit of a dark dome shape with the background of the bright green grass in the distance, but the sun is going down rapidly, and hopefully darkness will be my friend very soon. But I'll spin you around. So as you see, that's the kind of dome shape in the woods, and if I spin it right round, I'll let you see where that house is in the distance. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Yeah, we've learnt a little bit from our encounter with the police at the St Fergus camp. And I have got quite a descriptive sign in my window explaining that I am nearby doing star photography, which is the truth. And if anybody's got a problem, my phone number's on it, they can ring me up. So fingers crossed, the van won't be a problem and nobody will take offence to me quietly and cleanly camping in a stone circle. So I'm going to go over there and get myself set up and maybe get some food on once it goes dark. So I'll see you then. Well, the sun's nearly down now. It's about 4:10, and the wind is starting to get up, and I have a feeling it's going to be a blowy night. The forecast is for 25 mile/hour winds, but I think we're already past that. It seems a bit gusty, and the wind is coming right from that direction, so right on the nose of my tent. So maybe I've pitched it in the right place, I don't know. I've checked all the overhanging branches. I've got no widow makers as far as I can see, and we've had some pretty big storms recently, so I think most of the loose branches have already been shaken off the trees. So Hopefully it doesn't get much windier, because yeah, it's going to be blowing about a bit. But anyway, I reckon I've got about 15 minutes left of daylight, and I think as soon as it's gone completely dark, I'll get my trangia out and I'll get myself some grub on. But I'm waiting to use the cover of darkness a little bit, because I am quite exposed here. Didn't realise quite how busy these little back roads are, but they do seem to be a shortcut for somewhere. Again, a lot of cars coming past, and I'm also very aware how visible I am from the house over there because of the lack of foliage. I've never really been here in the winter. I've always came here in the summer, and it's pretty much a hidden little place in the summer when the leaves are on the trees. It's pretty hidden, but it feels quite exposed at the moment. Where we go. I've used my cam nets to obscure my tent from that side for the house and that side for the gate, but there's still a couple of spots coming down the hill over there where you can see me from the road, and as the cars come down this road as well, I'm kind of visible from there. I'm just hoping that they're concentrating on where they're going and they're not kind of glancing into the fields. But hey, that'll all be academic very soon. Once the light's gone, then it's only kind of me using recording lights and my cooker that's going to illuminate me, and I'll keep that to a minimum. So I think what I'll do is I shall switch camera off, and I will see you when it's gone dark and I've got some grub on. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, the sun's gone down and it is really starting to blow a hoolie now. So I've got my my dinner on. I'm using a trangia. I don't see that. Little trangia burner and a little trangia kettle and a windbreaker, thankfully, and it's just about coping. Burning ethanol. Reason for using that today was for the stealth, the quietness. My Coleman mountain stove is fantastic. Truly brilliant bit of kit, but by golly it's loud. And I was aware there was a road there. I'd forgotten there was a road there, and I'm aware there's a house over there. So the idea being, if I have a brew in the middle of the night, trangia's pretty much silent. That was the idea. But, and it's a big but, if I'd have realised it was going to be as windy as it is, I probably wouldn't have bought the trangia, because it hasn't got a very strong flame pressure and it gets blown about a bit. And yeah, it's coping, but only just. Well, tonight, surprise, surprise, spicy noodles again, but I've got Korean my goring. I don't know why that person was bibbing their horn coming down the hill, but yeah, that's a road there. Yeah, spicy noodles augmented with some pepper armies just to get the calorie count up. It's that car over there seems to be a little bit interested in what I'm doing. And for afters, ambrosia rice pudding. So we'll see how long that kettle's going to take to boil. And meantime, I'm going to turn this lamp off because the car seems to be interested in me. So I shall turn off the camera and I'll be back in a bit. Wow, that's the food cooked. That took a lot longer than it normally does. The burner is it's getting blown all over the place. So I've got my noodles made in my special Korean noodle bowl. Take the lid off without spilling it all over me. And yep, it all looks good. Yep, still warm. And I've kept the kettle on for a brew because yeah, temperature's dropping rapidly and that wind's really sucking the heat out of me. So get myself a nice hot chocolate or a cup of coffee and get this nosh down me, and I'll speak to you when I've done that, and I'll get this lamp off before I get spotted. So yeah, I turn that lamp off before I get spotted because I've been getting a bit of interest from the passing cars. It's only a matter of time. That's me back at the van. What a disaster. It's blowing a bloody gale out there, and I was going to lose the tent. It's a good little tent, that, but it can't take that sort of wind. And yeah, I have a feeling those trees were going to come down on top of me, and yeah, not for that. I do this for fun, got nothing to prove, so I'm going to nice slow drive home and try and sneak into the house without waking everybody up. And I'll do a wash up in the morning and explain what went on with a bit more detail. So, see you in a bit. Well, good morning. That wasn't the night I was expecting. Let me fill you in a little bit. Well, just after I turned the camera off when I was eating my dinner, I started to get a lot of interest. I think my filming light had kind of alerted somebody that I was in the field, and I got a pickup truck came down and he was sweeping the field with a spotlight. Now, he may have been looking for deer, it may have had nothing to do with me, but either way, I hunkered down in the tent and he was probably there for about 40 minutes up and down both roads sweeping the field with the torch. So, you know, I was all ready to go out and speak to the guy and just say, look, I'm not doing anything wrong, but I thought better than that, and I just kept my head down. And eventually he went away. So I just, at that point, I decided to do no more filming, just to get in my sleeping bag and hunker down for the night. Well, that didn't quite pan out how I expected either. The wind got up, the 25-mile-an-hour wind, not a chance. I don't know how strong it was, but it was really battering the tent, and it swung around a little bit, so it was hitting the tent side on. And that little Euro-height tent with its upgraded poles is pretty tough, but it was bending over and the trees were creaking big time, and I just thought, you know, I'm not here to prove anything. So I very quickly took the tent down, rolled it up, and got walked back to the van and came home. So that was that. Wasn't the best of camps, but I'd rather bail out and, you know, be safe than have a tree come down on me in the middle of the night. So that was that. All in all, though, it's a good location. I think it's a summer location because it's a bit exposed in the winter. First time I've been there in the winter, still a magical place for me, and you know, it's well worth going to. I will put the what 3 words location of the stone circle in the description, so if you want to go and have a look at it, you'll be able to find it. Camping there, well, that's up to you. I'm not recommending you camp there, but certainly go and pay it a visit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, click the red box down below and join the channel. It helps me get seen by the algorithm and helps me get out there in YouTube land. Until the next one, I'll say ta-da. Ta-da.